How might taking on meaningful challenges with a team encourage students to build relationships and seek out new learning experiences? In this video, we'll explore the strategy card's small group collaboration. We'll cover key points when integrating team activities into your blended or online learning experience, and we'll look at an example from Global Online Academy's course, Bioethics. When we're talking about small group collaboration, we're talking about teams of 3 or more. When you introduce students to this kind of work, you're introducing lots of different ways both to learn online, but also to connect and build relationships online. That's why it's important to think of small group collaboration as a multifaceted experience. You want to make sure you've integrated opportunities both for social work, for project planning, and for using the online space in a way that is conducive to successful collaboration. Beyond that, as students get to work on actually producing something as a result of their work together, you want to make sure you're helping them clearly define their roles. How are they going to work together? How can you give each student different responsibilities to ensure they're engaged? And how can you make sure there's both synchronous and asynchronous work to help students excel in different environments? You also want to make sure that the product of this collaboration is at least partially published online. Students need to understand that where they're working has relevance to what they produce, and asking them to both collaborate online and then show their work online shows them the value of operating with these new skills in this new space. Let's explore an example from GOA's bioethics course. In what she calls the Supreme Court assignment, the teacher divided her students into teams of 5. Each team was asked to take a different Supreme Court assignment and act as if they were justices on the US Supreme Court and deliberate and make a decision. Importantly, when you have this many students working together in the online space, you need to give really clear planning and scaffold the activity well. This teacher divided the assignment into 3 parts. The students were supposed to first read and asynchronously submit notes on their assigned case. Then they were to have a synchronous experience where they Skyped as the justices and deliberated to make a decision. And then finally, as a group, they were to compose a narrated slide presentation that outlined their decision and their reasoning behind it. Importantly, the teacher, in addition to structuring the project well, gave each student their own responsibility. One student was the organizer and leader of the synchronous conversation. Another was researching one side of the case. Another was researching for the defense on the other side, and 2 others were being the ethicists for each side. They were applying key questions they had learned earlier in the course and asking questions that would guide the group towards a decision. The result was some pretty in-depth explorations of these cases. The students submitted their slideshows online and summarized their points both in writing and through audio files. What's interesting is that the students were able to collaborate in many different ways, leveraging different online tools. In addition, the teacher made it possible for them to show their work online so they could understand that since they were collaborating online, their process had relevance to their product. In the end, when you're thinking about small group collaboration in an online or blended learning experience, you really want to think about allowing students time and space to both get to know each other, to work through the process together, and to produce work where everyone gets a chance to show what they've learned.